Keep my partner's name out your freaking mouth. Yeah, if you guys are wondering why I didn't like straight up say the F word, it's because I'm actually outdoor right now. I'm just sitting around I'm just sitting around somewhere, and there's like apparently a bunch of kids in this area. So I decided to not swear. So yeah. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on Bad Boys 2. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? So Bad Boys 2 is the second installment in the Bad Boys quadrilogy, and it's directed once again by Michael Bay, and it came out in the year 2003, the same year as my favorite live-action movie of all time, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, and it stars Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Joe Pantoliano, Gabrielle Union, Jordi Mola, Peter Stormare, Theresa Randall, Michael Shannon, John Cena, etc. And the film tells the story of buddy cops, Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, who are on the case when Miami is being flooded with ecstasy that's coming from Cuba to a drug lord. And yeah, they're both pretty much on this case, and they are determined to bring this drug lord to justice. And while they are in this case, Marcus's younger sister, Sid, or Sydney for her real name, she's called Sid in the movie, is being used as a mole to quote-unquote work for the drug lord. And apparently Mike is actually dating her. So when Marcus finds out that Mike is dating his sister, Marcos gets pissed off with him and decides to separate with him for good. But when these two are forced to work together to stop this drug lord, Mike and Marcus are forced to go back together and work together in order to stop this drug lord. Yeah, that's the plot for it. So yeah, now, the first Bad Boys film for Michael Bay. Now, I will say this though, the more I thought about it, I feel like I might have been a bit too harsh on that film. Not that it's a bad film by any means, but I did say that I was very critical with the first Bad Boys film, as I found that film to be. I said in my review was average, and I gave it only a 3 out of 5. But the more I thought about it, I was like thinking, okay, maybe I was a bit too critical about Bad Boys. Maybe it is actually a legit good film. And now I've actually updated my rating to 3.5 out of 5. If you saw my review of Bad Boys without actually seeing my comment about me just bumping up my rating, then yeah, I'm telling you right now. Now, Bad Boys 2 has a very interesting critical reception, as that film is very divisive. And I mean, like, people have strong reaction. Either they hate it or they enjoy it. The film's rating on Rotten Tomatoes is a whopping 24% rating. Yeah, on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a very low, very bad. While audiences really like this film, and I hear a lot of people really saying that I hear a lot of people say that they defend this film, that they say that this is an underrated gem, and some even go as far as calling this their favorite in the trilogy. Yeah, sadly, film Twitter apparently hates Bad Boys for life because they prefer the Bay ones and that it's modern. And yeah, I'll talk more about Bad Boys for life later, but first I want to focus more on Bad Boys 2. And for me personally, like, when I first saw this film, I had a hard time, like, pretty much deciding if I like this film or dislike it, because there are aspects that make this film very easy to dislike. But the thing is, the movie also has a lot of things to like about this film. So back then I used to rate this film a 3 out of 5 because I was really right in the middle, and I couldn't really decide if I found this film to be good or not. But after rewatching Bad Boys 2 today, I have jumped to a conclusion that I don't like this movie. Yeah, as much as I like Bad Boys 1, I'm sorry, y'all, but I think Bad Boys 2 is not good. And I'm gonna have to go negative on this one. However, do I think it's nearly as bad as that 24% on Rotten Tomatoes? Nope, not even close. Yeah, I do think that I personally think that critics are overhating this film. It's certainly not. It's not a 20% type of movie. Like, if I agree with the critics, I would have actually went as far as telling this a rant, but it's not that bad. Yeah, but however, I feel like this movie, the best way to title this movie is Meh Boys. Yeah, very mediocre Meh Boys. Yeah. Now, since I am a little bit more generous this film, despite not liking it, I want to talk about what I liked about this film, but the things that I actually really like this film. Now, I will say that while I do have some problems with the action scenes, I will say that for the most part, the action scenes are actually pretty good, and they're actually very entertaining. There's quite a lot of action scenes, but maybe if this movie had a shorter runtime, it would have felt like there was more action scenes. But it didn't feel like there was a lot of action considering the long runtime. Yeah, the action scenes in this movie they're fun, I guess. They really do keep me engaged throughout. And I mean, throughout the action scenes, they're very engaging. I will say this. And there's some really great action scenes, like the highway car chase. For example, that's my personal favorite action scene in the film. That is by far the most memorable action scene. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence shine in the film as Mike and Marcus. I mean, while they both don't change a lot of while they both don't really change a lot as characters, the film is able to retain what we liked about both characters, and that is their chemistry, their body count chemistry, their their strong chemistry, but also like they're bickering with one another. They're really entertaining arguments. Yeah, especially with the Marcus Bernay being the more comedic one. I mean, Marcus does show off his charm, and Mike Lowry is Mike Lowry as always. Out of the two, Will Smith is the better one of the duo. But the duo, they're still a really good duo, and you really feel them work together. And also, you also got Joe Petolilo's character, Captain Howard, Captain Howard, who I personally think is my favorite of the three main characters in the film. Like the three characters I personally consider him a main character since he literally appears in all of the Bad Boys films. I think he's probably my favorite. He's just really hilarious, especially with this over exaggeration. Yeah, I really like him a lot. He's just really hilarious. I like his over exaggeration and those stuff. But my personal favorite character in the film would have to be my favorite character is Sid, Marcus's sister and Mike's girlfriend. Yeah, sure, the plot revolving around her, on all that stuff, I know, but I like her as a character a lot. I think she is a very charming character, and I will say she's definitely one of my favorite. She is one of my favorite Bad Boys characters. She would be my third favorite Bad Boys character. Yeah, by the way, sorry for the the background noise. Yeah, there's a lot of people here, but hopefully it's not distracting in the actual video outcome. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was saying. She would be my third favorite Bad Boys character, right behind Kelly and Rita, both from Bad Boys for Life. What I like about her is Gabrielle Union's performance as the character. I think she does give out a good performance, and I would say that this is one of her better roles. I'm not too familiar with her filmography, but one film from her that comes to mind is Strange World. Yeah, she played Meridian Clade in Strange World, who is probably the better female character in Strange World than Callisto Mal. Thinking about it, and my second favorite character in the movie, second only to behind Ethan. I say this is better. This and the movie itself is better than Strange World. I will say that. Although kind of on par. So if you remember what I rated Strange World, the rating I gave Strange World, yeah, that I pretty much just spoiled my rating for Bad Boys 2. Yeah, so there's that. Now let's get into my problems with the movie. The things that I didn't really like about the film. And boy, there certainly are things I didn't really like about this film. So let's get into them. Now, what actually killed the film for me? What actually killed the film for me is the runtime. The movie is way too long. Yeah, I kid you not, guys. The movie is 2 hours and 27 minutes, like 26 ways. Yeah, 2 hours and 27 minutes. That for a Bad Boys movie, good God, that's like the equivalent of 3 hours. Yeah, I clearly did feel the runtime, as the film did take forever to finish. And it went up to the point where I was just desperately, I was desperately waiting for this movie to end. Yeah, it was just that long. And as a result of this, the film kind of drags at point. The story isn't even isn't that big scale. Like, the story is very safe. So you start to question, why the long runtime? Like, if the first film is under 2 hours and the second film is just straight up, the third film is just straight up 2 hours. The fourth film is under 2 hours too. This one could have been like, this one felt like the kind of story this was telling felt like it could have been the shortest Bad Boys film, but no, they had to forcefully overextend the runtime. And yeah, a 2.5 hour Bad Boys movie just doesn't work. And like what I said, it doesn't even make good use of its runtime, as the writing barely does anything new. It's almost very identical to the first film in some sense. And even the premise of Marcus's younger sister being the center of conflict, as she's like used as a mole while Mike falls in love with her, and Marcus hates that idea. It's not very good either. Not very interesting. And another problem I have with the film is that it is so focused on comedy. Yeah. Yes, there is action scenes here and there, and they're good. But the movie, it's so focused on the comedy. Yeah, it's not very funny. The comedy freaking sucks, man. And yeah, I didn't laugh at the vast majority of the jokes, and the ones that I did laugh were very forgettable. Yeah, they were very forgettable. And one of the main problems with the film is Michael freaking Bay himself. Oh dear Lord. Yeah, Michael Bay is not very good. This movie shows that he's not a good director. Yeah, the cinematography, it's not good. It's not very good looking. It's not a very good looking movie. And the use of the drone shots in the movie is just ridiculous. And actually, not all the action scenes are good, as there are some action scenes that I don't like. One of them being the house shootout scene, the one in the middle. Yeah, the drone shots is just ugly. Yeah, the drone shots is just ugly. Like when the drone would just zoom in and out like that, and then the movie would just focus. Like it's so unfocused. Like the camera couldn't even decide on who to focus on. So yeah. And also, not to mention, Marcus can be an asshole at times. I mean, yeah, sure, I know Marcus is meant to be the funny one, the comedy relief character, but he's not an asshole. He's not supposed to be an asshole, not that level. So, yeah. So overall, Bad Boys 2 is not a bad movie by any means. And yeah, it's not bad, but it's very mediocre, and even more forgettable than the first film. At least the first movie is terrible. Oh yeah, another problem I have with the action scenes is the music. A lot of the music choices don't really fit the action scenes, so there's that. Yeah, Bad Boys 2 is mediocre at best. It's very mid. It's probably Michael Bay's most mid movie to date. It's not as bad as the critics say it is, but I don't particularly agree with the people who defend it either and say and call this movie an underrated gem. Heck, not even the best Bad Boys movie. Hell no. This is clearly the weakest Bad Boys movie. That's one thing I will agree with the critics on. So with that said, I'm going to give Bad Boys 2 a 2.5 stars out of 5. Bad Boys, more like meh boys for this one. That's all for my review of Bad Boys 2. What are your thoughts on the film? Are you on my side that this film is just mediocre at best? Or are you in one of the stronger sides? Like, do you think that this film is straight up garbage? Or do you think that this film is, or do you defend this film as an underrated gem? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Bad Boys for Life, the best one in the franchise. Bye, guys.